Recently, she made history as the first female governor of the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria. Aralola Olamuyiwa, popularly known as Ara, has performed around the world with the talking drum. With more than 4 decades of experience, Ara serves as the cultural ambassador to the Imperial Majesty, OONI of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II. Ara has earned global recognition for her contribution to music and culture. Help me welcome the visionary behind the World Female Drummers Festival, Ara. Wow, now that is a warm welcome. Welcome to the show, Ara.
Thank you for having me.
For many of us, when you started this so many decades ago, we were astounded by the fact that she's a woman. Drumming, that's impossible. And we were taken, you know, so taken into your craft. It's such a privilege to have you come on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow, you've done great things in the last 4 decades.
Thank you.
That is no mincemeat, I tell you that. And we're so proud of you, of all the things that you've done.
Thank you very much.
Now, we must ask, how has the journey been?
Well, thank you so much. And the journey has been beautiful, but not without its challenges. Yes. I started drumming from when I was in primary school, about 4 decades ago, but professionally, I picked the talking drum. It's going to be 25 years in January 2025.
So we're celebrating that, aren't we? Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. So being the very first female talking drummer, I come from a lineage of kings, actually. 3 kings. And that is why in my wiki, they say Omo Balade Meta.
Tell us about that.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay, so from Oyo, Alaafin. I am a direct descendant of the Alaafin of Oyo. From in Owo and Ilesha. Yes, I am a princess from those kingdoms.
Wow.
Through my mother.
Wow.
People ask, why the drum?
Exactly.
I was privileged to have been hosted by the first Black Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka, in his house years back. And he asked me the same question, Ara, why
the talking drum?
The talking drum. And I said, the talking drum chose me, Anyagalu, the god, the deity of the talking drum, chose me. I say this because I know that before Ara, there must have been other female talking drummers who were not celebrated or who didn't have the guts to show their face. So my mother once told me that as a young girl, growing up, of course, I was around age 4, and thereabouts. Yes, that's young.
Wow.
That everything in the house was drums, and she used to wonder, where did I get this child from? So when we got transferred to Warri, my dad was a banker with one of the top banks. He was transferred as a branch manager of one of the banks to Bendel State, now Delta State. I became the first drummer in the traditional group. And when I got home and told them I'm going to drum, my mom had forgotten a few things about
that she was told.
That she was told. But my dad didn't forget. So my dad said, let her be. If this is what she's going to do, please just let her be. So the journey started from way back. And then back in Ondo, my great-grandfather has a mini palace because he was a high chief. In the palace, the talking drum wakes the royalty up in the morning. And they use it as a means of communication from time to time. On one of those visits to Ondo, to my great-grandfather's palace, I met an old man, the head drummer, I was so fascinated by the yailu, the mother drum. So I walked up to him and I said, "Can I play your drum?" The old man looked at me and laughed. He said, "Why do you want to play the drum? Do you see any girl here?" I said, "No, but I just want to play your drum. I like the sound." So the old man obliged me and gave me the drum.
Amazing.
That was the first time I had the sound of the talking drum. I told Prof, and like I've told everybody, the journey of Ara being the first globally recognized and celebrated female talking drummer started from that day that I held the yailu and then went on to play the other traditional drums, because I play well over 7 drums, not just the talking drum.
I think, shouldn't we allude that to destiny? Because, you know, if you've been chosen, directly and indirectly,
Yes.
you know, and the foretold story is now being played out. I think that's the way I've seen it. Am I right or wrong?
You're very, very right. It's destiny. And I know that I was chosen beyond music, not just about music. It's also, because you know, in the days of old, the talking drum was a means of communication before it became a musical instrument.
Aha.
Yes, it was. So it was the telephone back then.
Aha.
It was a means of communication, your email, your everything from village to village. During the time of war, there's a particular sound that you hear and you know this is war coming. Or there's a wedding ceremony, there's a naming ceremony, there's a funeral, you know, housewarming, a celebration of some sort. The talking drum was. But, you know, it became a musical instrument after, you know, after a while. And I know that the talking drum, primarily, yes, being a musical instrument, but I was also chosen to make, to use this instrument as a way or means of communicating some messages to our world. And that I've been able to do over the years through the talking drum.
I mean, with all the achievements that you've had over the years,
Yes.
how do you balance preserving traditional Yoruba drumming, the culture itself, with embracing innovation in your performances? Because I'll tell you what, your performances are electrifying.
Thank you. Over the years, what I've done is evolve from time to time, which is, I think they said, what's it called? Reinventing myself.
Yourself.
From time to time is what I've been able to do. And if you look at my talking drum right now, it's not your
it's not so big.
Yes, and it's not your regular Oshun, the strands here. Though they're animal skin, but they're clothed in Ankara. You know, so and
Well, what does that mean? Tell us why.
Yeah, it's just a beautification.
Okay.
Right, and then I had to make it appealing and acceptable to the younger generation.
Aha.
That's why you see in my dressing, I had to come up with some new styles.
Yeah, because I remember before you
Long
always
braids.
have braids that come all the way to your feet.
I still do.
Oh,
Up
my
to 2 weeks
goodness.
ago, I just
And we
took that
wonder
out.
how you keep those hair. Amazing.
Yes, that is done by about 7 boys, and
Hey.
it's done for like 14 hours.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, I had to keep reinventing, and I had to get the younger generation interested in their culture, because our culture is our DNA. Our culture is who we are. We cannot run away from it. We can try to be anything or anybody, but we cannot. Can you run away from your DNA?
No.
It is who you are.
Absolutely.
Your culture is who you are.
Absolutely.
And I realized that the younger generation were not so given or interested. So I had to come up with ideas. How do I make them interested? So rather than play just the talking drum in my music and going traditional, I introduced different jams. I introduced different drum patterns. I introduced different, my dress code. I infused, what you call, I made it more Afrocentric,
yes.
you know, so they could actually identify with it. And yes, then I started a program called I Love My Culture, which I took to different campuses, talking to them about their culture and giving them a platform to ask questions. What don't you love about your culture?
Yeah.
And then the questions they asked me, I was thrilled because I could see their love. And then you see you see them these days, they wear a lot of Ankara, Adire,
Yes.
you know, made
Even
Ankara
in corporate-
shoes.
yeah,
Thank
in
you.
corporate attires,
So
absolutely.
doing that has really helped the endear them to the culture, and they show more love, even in the names, because our names are very beautiful and unique. My name is Aralola. You know, Yoruba will say
very unusual.
Yes, Ile la ma n wo ka to somo loruko. There is a meaning behind every name, and that is why it is important to know the meaning of your name. It's part of our culture, you know. So I asked them, what is your name? Oh, what part of the country are you from? Oh, I'm from Benue, I'm from Ibibio. What's your native name? There is a reason behind your name, and there is a reason why you were given that name. Aralola was given to me by my grandfather, who my partner grandfather. In those days, of course, you know, they were in Ondo. I was born here in Lagos, and my grandfather sent the name. Until the day of the naming ceremony, you are not, as a parent, you're not allowed to see the name of the child. And on the day that they brought out my name, and they said, my grandfather said, this is her name. My father had chosen a separate name, but my grandfather said, no, this is her name, because she's going to be a wonder, not just to Nigeria or Africa, but to the world. And
yes, and true to that, everything has come true.
Yes,
because you've graced global stages with your music, with your drumming. Looking at that, tell me, how acceptable do you consider drumming in the diaspora?
I would say that drumming is more acceptable out there than here. Maybe because it's our thing.
It's unusual? Maybe it's unusual for that?
Yes, I would say it's unusual. Seeing a female with the drum and all the energy, you know, the costumes and all of that. So then they are curious. They want to know more about the culture. Yes. And of course, apart from playing the music, I teach them the language. The beauty of learning how to play the talking drum is that you will learn Yoruba language. You will get to learn some proverbs and the reason for those proverbs and why you want to, why you play the drum. You must understand what the drum is saying to you. Like what I played when you introduced me. Awalamu Borodu. We are the merrymakers.
Yes.
We are here.
Yes.
I have come.
Yes.
Awalamu Borodu.
Yes.
That was what I played. You know. So for you to understand, for you to appreciate that, you must understand the language. So that is preservation of cultural heritage.
Awesome.
So it's not just about music. It's about
the culture
and
the heritage.
And the preservation. Yes.
Awesome. You are the first female governor of PMAN in Lagos.
Yes.
How has that been? What does it actually mean to you?
Wow.
And, you know, what do you intend to change while you're, you know, heading that?
Now, the beauty of being the female, the first female governor of PMAN in Lagos State, for me, like I mentioned earlier, is beyond just the talking drum being a musical instrument. It's also to pass a message. So I believe that the fact that I'm a talking drummer paved that way for me. Being the governor, Lagos is a hub of entertainment in Nigeria, by extension Africa. And Lagos is the Afrobeat capital of the world. Everybody wants to come to Lagos. Everybody wants to make a career out of entertainment and other areas of their chosen fields right here in Lagos. But we are talking about entertainment right now. A lot has been happening in the industry. There's been a lot of growth, so to speak. A lot of youngsters want to be artists. They want to be stars. Yes, but there's a lot involved in the entertainment industry. So my tenure, I intend to create a lot of awareness. We know primarily the role of PMAN in the career of any artist is welfare. The welfare of every artist is a priority of PMAN. Before you sign that contract, talk to PMAN. Before before you can even travel out of the country as an artist to work, the embassies will tell you to go back to PMAN and get a letter. And yes, that's how strong PMAN is. So we need to create awareness. Okay, look at the unfortunate thing that happened to the late Mohbad and stuff. If there was a governor in PMAN at the time it happened, PMAN would have intervened. I would have intervened as the governor because that's my jurisdiction. I would have called both parties, and then we'll have found what's it called?
Level playing field.
Exactly. An understanding between both parties, and so in that regard, there's going to be a lot of awareness for artists, seminars, and lots more. It's not just about getting the microphone and singing. There is the business behind the music. That's why it's a talent and technique. There's a technique behind the talent that makes the talent blow up. but they only see the talent and they see the flashy part of it, the flamboyant part of it. There is a lot that goes into being an artist that can sustain them throughout the career life span. So P-Man, as the governor, I will make sure that there's money in the pocket, the music is paying, is playing and paying, and then you're protected.
Exactly,
yes.
As in copyright and all that? Not necessarily?
Not necessarily, because that's for other bodies.
The recording artists?
Yes, but for P-Man, it's your welfare. To make sure you get what's rightfully, you get your earnings, you're protected. Before you sign your contract, a music A&R, PR, whatever, you come to us. And then I brought back the job license card that you must have in Lagos State. Very soon it's going to be very important. It's imperative that you have your job license card before you can perform in Lagos State, because that's where we get to protect you. We are having a partnership with a lot of organizations, the police and all of that. Once you flash your card, because of our peculiarities as artists, and then they stop you on the highway, oh, you are a Yahoo boy, oh, you are this. No, yes. I'm an artist and this is my P-Man job license card. You're free to go. But if there's a crime involved, here is the best part. They allow you to call a P-Man lawyer who will come to your aid immediately. So there's so many incentives to join P-Man, and there's so many reasons why P-Man is very important in the life or career of every artist, especially those in Lagos, which is my jurisdiction.
Naturally, you're on this show because you're considered a trailblazer. You've done great things in your field.
Thank you.
Share with us something memorable that you've experienced, you know, either abroad, at home, that you think is pertinent for us to know so that we can be closer to Ara.
There's so much. There's so much.
Give me only one.
Only one. My recording with Stevie Wonder.
You've seen Stevie Wonder?
Yes, I worked with him for a week in Los Angeles. I stayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had a recording in 2004. Okay, we met in Ghana. I opened for him at an event.
Amazing.
So then he asked to dance with me. And they said, Stevie would like to dance with you. Would you like to dance?
You still have those pictures?
I do. I have the pictures. So we danced, and while dancing, he asked me, have you been to the US before? I said, yes. So would you like to come to LA? I'm recording my first album in 10 years. And I said, why not? So fine, knew it. I was in LA with him, riding around town.
In limousine?
Yeah. Jumping from one studio.
Chauffeur driven.
I tell you. Now, the interesting part that shaped my career was that a Stevie will wake up by 9 a.m. every day and work till 5 a.m.
No way.
Yes. So when they're dropping me off at the hotel, he would say, hey, Ara, they're picking you up by 9. Then I looked at myself when I go back to Nigeria, me, like this. What kind of sleep am I sleeping?
Am I sleeping?
When they Stevie Wonder, who has, as at then, 1,500 songs in the archives, unreleased. As at that time.
For real?
For real. As at 2004, 2005, he had 1,500 songs unreleased in his archives. So I said to myself, no, this is beyond me recording with this living legend. I'm taking something from him. Then I learned humility from him. Sitting with Stevie, Stevie would ask me, seek my opinion about the recording. Hey, Ara, what do you think? And I looked at my small me then. I'm like, no, this is, God, thank you. This is an opportunity to be a better artist, to be a better person. And I'm always very, very happy to talk about this and grateful to Stevie, yes.
Do you still communicate? I'm just trying to be, I'm a bo now.
We communicated last a couple of years ago, but I still have his contact though.
Wow.
Yes, if I go to LA today.
Though? He must be very old by now.
Old.
And,
he is old.
But he does
but not
come
too
on,
old.
Yeah, he does come on celebrated shows, you know, where he's honored and all that.
Yes, he actually has an event every December.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in LA.
In LA?
Yes.
Oh, wow. 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 Interesting. That is so... I'm so jealous like right now. I'm so jealous. You know? But then, you see, what sometimes I always like to ask this because it's always good. You're passing the baton. And what advice would you give young aspiring artists?
In
Because
general.
now, in general, because I find out, you know, I mentor people too.
Okay.
And there are times when the conversation is all about money. How are we going to make money? Nobody wants to walk the walk. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, perfectly.
They think it all happened overnight. And you got where you got to because, yeah, you got a break from someone or something, and it's all about the money. But it's not true.
No, it's not.
We all have tales to tell.
Yes.
What's your advice?
My advice to them is, first, make sure that this is actually your calling. This is something you're passionate about, because the market is saturated right now. If you want to come into entertainment industry, you better look out for who your competition is. For instance, you're coming into the Afrobeat genre. You know who your competition is: Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Tiwa Savage, so on and so forth. So do you have what it takes? Now, they didn't start overnight. I always use Davido as an example. Coming from a very wealthy background, he walked his way up there. He didn't rely on his father's wealth. And that's because he has the talent. But of course, he had money to push. But then before the money started coming, he had to give his all. He had to beg. If you hear Burna Boy's story as well, you understand. If you hear the story, what they had to go through. So these days, the youngsters just want to wake up overnight and become a billionaire. Yes. Which is not the story.
It doesn't happen
There
like
is growth. You have to go from a first stage to the next stage of discovering yourself, investing in yourself first, before someone else will invest in you and identify that talent in you to say, hey, I'm ready to put my money on this artist. And then you must be very humble. Right, because...
Something that is actually, that word,
yes,
is actually becoming, you know, slightly eroded in character of many of today's generation. I'm not trying to generalize. I'm just citing.
Yes.
It's not like that overall, but it's becoming a concern for some of us that we can count some decades. You know what I mean? And I remember that's not how we are raised.
At all.
You know, and if we are looking at things that Nigerians are doing in the diaspora, what sets them apart, and how they're so proud. I always say something, proudly Nigerian, you know, and how you bring it home and things people at home are doing. You know, there is this thing about integrity.
Yes.
And we must incorporate it in our character.
True.
And that is why, you know, for some people, you don't see aspiring people who have done well in their field being celebrated. And, you know, which is why we're doing this.
True.
You know, and then letting people know that it just doesn't come in a platter of gold.
No.
You must walk your way through.
Yes.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
So the aspect of respect, integrity is very key. And it saddens my heart, just like everyone in my generation and perhaps older, to see the younger ones not wanting to even sacrifice anything, and they feel entitled. They feel that, oh, this is my right.
That's it.
I have to get it. And it's either I get it or I get it. You know, without having to
either I get it
or I get it. Yes. So which is
That's
a very
powerful.
which is a very big issue in the society right now, which is why we are seeing the emergence of our younger girls going into, you know, what we say, and the boys going into, and then you're hearing a lot of rituals and all of that going on out there. But see, you asked me my first question. The challenges will come. The challenges will help you grow. You cannot. It's like you plant a corn, you plant a seed. It has to grow. You have to water it. You have to, you know, get it going, and then before you can reap it. But I don't know what it is we need to do as a people, but we can't stop talking enough about growth and about taking it one step at a time. I'm just hoping that the society, and then the social media is not helping matters. It's like, you're laughing. But that's the truth. The social media is not helping matters.
We are the Gen Z generation.
It's not helping
I don't fit in, huh? I'm not even a millennial.
So I hope it matters, but we can't stop talking. Like what you're doing now, celebrating those
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
through hard work and dedication, discipline, determination. I hope that they would watch this show and learn to understand that growth is key and taking it one step at a time. Okay, I started something. I started naming my drums after people who have inspired me over the years. So if you see me on stage next time, you might see me carrying Fela. You might see me carrying Beyonce.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing, and this is my name. This is Ara. So I called Auntie Annie. Thank you. I said, what was the favorite color of your father? She said orange, yellow. I said, so his drum is going to be orange and yellow. So I texted Burna Boy's mom. What's Burna Boy's favorite color? And why Burna Boy? He celebrated during the Grammys performance.
Yes,
you saw that?
Yes.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
so it's going to be purple. Janet Jackson, when she came back, Omowoloyo, they drummed for her in New York. She brought talking drummers on stage. Tiwa Savage, I'm going to have a Tiwa. You know, so on and so. I have an Angelique already.
She's one
Angelique
of my
Kidjo.
favorite artists.
So we need to celebrate
Tiwa.
people who have done something, you know, from scratch, from nothing, whose story will inspire you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I agree with you.
Thank you.
There's something I came across while I was trying to see through you.
Okay.
And it's this thing they called Aking. What is it? Is it Aking Konju?
Aking Konju Obirin.
Well, tell us about that. You know, you're an Aking Konju for promoting Yoruba drumming culture.
Yes.
How do you envision, you know, continuing your legacy for future generations?
Sure.
And tell us about Aking Konju.
Aking Konju. I would rather go with, yes, I'm an Aking Konju Obirin, but I would also rather go with Eni Orisha.
Because of that destiny.
Yes.
That story.
Yes.
So many years ago.
Yes. Eni Orisha. And we have a lot of Eni Orisha. Fela was an Eni Orisha.
Fela was an enigma.
Thank you.
He was an enigma.
Yes. We have Michael
Everything
Jackson.
he said came true.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. So, for me, I started a World Female Drummers Festival. We had a second edition last year. Today, because Ara picked the talking drum, we have 6-year-old female talking drummers. We have well over 500 female talking drummers. Yes, in Nigeria. Not necessarily trained by me.
Right, yeah.
Yes, because they don't have, not everyone has access.
Yes.
But for those who have had access, I have been able to impact. And for them, the Female Drummers Festival is a platform for them to showcase their talents, our cultural heritage, to say, hey, being a female is no barrier to achieving anything in life. Your gender is no barrier. You can think it, you can do it. If tradition could evolve and say, okay, as Obirin, Ton Lu Ilu, Aking Konju Obirin, Eni Orisha, we give you the go-ahead. Because when I started, this traditional institution will have shut me up or shut me down. But they didn't. They encouraged me. And that's why I really appreciate His Imperial Majesty OONI of Ife for making me his cultural ambassador. That actually gave me, you know, like more confidence to go ahead and give me more recognition. Said, oh, okay, if the Onisha could make her an ambassador, then this is good.
Yeah, we look forward to having OONI on this show.
Very soon.
I know it's going to happen. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We really want to tap into culture and tradition.
Yes.
And a lot of things that are considered myths. You know, we need someone to really tell us because, like you said, the culture and tradition is eroding.
Yes.
And somebody needs to let us know what exactly it's all about.
Talking about myths. Sorry. Talking about myths.
Yeah.
When I picked the talking drum, I was told I would not be able to have kids. Yes, I was told. And I was told that my soup will be sour.
Really?
Yes, I was told all of that. And I was told some part of my feminine features would not develop.
But then you had the kid.
Yes.
And then
my soup is very sweet.
And still existing. And nothing is missing.
Exactly. So, you know, that's to say that that's one of the challenges, fear. I remember the first day I was to play the talking drum before the entire world. I was really, really scared. because I didn't know what could happen. Hence, from there, and being someone that loves children, I would say that I paid a very heavy due to have the courage to say, you know what, I would do this. It has to be different, and I'm really thankful to God that I was able to take that challenge.
Yes, and we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of your achievements. You really have paved the way for some of the many of such artists who are sticking after your steps. But before I let you go,
okay,
tell us some of the upcoming projects and collaborations that you're excited about.
Oh wow, I'm so excited about our Drum Heritage Center. Yes, our Drum Heritage Center will birth in Nigeria in the US.
Oh, great.
Yes, and it's a center that would have facilities like a drum museum, a drum school, a drum center, and a performance center. So people will have opportunity, be you in Lagos or outside Nigeria, to walk into their Drum Heritage Center and pick up a drum or learn the history of the drum or learn how to make the drum, you know, and then sit down and have a beautiful performance from beautiful or, you know, energetic drummers. That's one of my very major. And come January 23rd, 2025, I'm going to be 50, and it's going to be, 25 years on stage. So
that's what I call double celebration.
Exactly. So it's going to be my 25th
We're
anniversary.
Be in the forefront?
Definitely. So it's my 50th and my 25 years on stage professionally as a drummer.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I look forward to, to those. There are many more. I have a book coming up, My Father and I. When my father passed, I stumbled on my file. He had a file for every child.
Oh my goodness.
And all the letters I wrote to him, all the cards I sent to him in there. So I wrote a book about that. So My Father and I is coming up very soon, yes.
That's so interesting.
Thank you.
Oh my. Can I just go on and on and on? You are such a delight.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure as you blazing the trail, so many more will take after you. Some have already taken after you. And you know, you've left the door open for more and more innovations, because that is what I'm so excited about with you.
Thank you.
You've come up with so many different innovations, you know, to broaden the scope of drumming.
Yes.
And it's been a privilege.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. But before you go, you're going to give us something. We have to move.
And
move.
Are you ready to dance?
Yes,
so,
we're going to stand to do
good.
it as
So
well.
are you ready to sing and dance?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. So we can actually have, you know, a nice, the one we used to welcome wasn't too bad, but I'll just stay here and have a nice, you know, a nice move, you know. Thank you so much. And until I see you next time, it's bye-bye.